So today we're going to talk about coffee. I've got some questions and I'm hoping people will help me out with those answers. But first we're going to have a little scenic views. Hi everybody, today is going to be a relatively short video and it's basically I need your opinion and inputs, okay, and it has to do with coffee. So if that has no interest, you don't drink coffee, you're probably not going to be interested in watching this. You know, if like when I grew up, a coffee pot was this, you know, metal thing and it had a little glass thing on the top. And you put the coffee in it, and the coffee went blub, 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 blub. And that was for fancy occasions. Everyday stuff was, I know you're gonna love this one, but everyday stuff was like when I met Sid, I was drinking instant coffee. And she was like, ew, instant coffee. So, you know, obviously that's evolved over time. But it was, no matter what it was, you know, always somewhat of a dark tasting, a dark roasted, that type of blend. And I think that was the thing, I'm pretty sure that's what's happened, is that over time to produce enough coffee for enough people to like, what companies did was they took whatever bean and they took it and they roasted it and they roasted it and they got it to that, I don't know if the right word is charred, but, you know, to the point where it all had that same dark taste. You know, charred is, I don't know if that's the right word, but, you know, I think you know what I'm talking about. So the question in this whole thing here is that, you know, is that what you like? You know, I'm trying to figure out what it is that people actually like. There's neither, to me, there's not a right or a wrong. If you like it, that's great. If you don't like it, that's great too. But I'm trying to figure out what it is. Would people willing, you know, who have always had that dark coffee, would they be willing to try something different to see the taste, or no, they're pretty much set on that and that's going to be it. And part of this came up yesterday, whereas we had the realtor over and I had made some coffee just in the drip thing. I think you probably saw that. And, you know, I thought it was kind of like, wasn't all that great in the drip. In the pour over, it was good. It wasn't great, but it was okay. In the drip, it was sort of like, And when Sid tried it, she was sort of like, That blinked out. It keeps blinking out. I don't know why it keeps blinking out. It's got a brand new battery. Okay, new battery. I don't know why it keeps doing that, whatever. It is what it is. I hope it's not the camera. I hope it's the batteries. But back to that discussion. The realtor came over, asked him if he wanted a cup of coffee. The one I had was I didn't like. Sid had a different opinion. It wasn't great, but it was okay. And he had it, and he was like, and then he got done that first cup, and he was like, anyway, I can have a second cup. This is really good. So that, you know, leads me to that whole thing of personal taste. And that's one of the hard things with coffee. One person says, next person says, boy, that was really good. You know, how are you going to get this to a point where everybody can say whatever their like is, that taste is good for them? And I know for a lot of people, that dark roasted coffee is what they're used to. So the question is, do you like dark roasted coffee? And you know, you can leave a comment down below. Why do you like dark roasted coffee? Have you tried other coffees that aren't quite as strong, that have different flavors? Would you be willing to try different coffees? And those are questions I can't answer right off, but I'm looking for the answers for, and I'm hoping that, you know, people who are watching this will have that insight and be able to say, this is the reason why, or I already tried these different ones because of certain attributes or whatever. Because that whole taste thing is like, you know, like if I build a house for somebody, I mean, of course, I know if the walls were like this, people are going to be like, yeah, that's not right. That's not good. Of course, so you always aim for the same thing. Everybody can see the walls are straight. But in coffee, you're aiming for something that appeals to you and hopefully a bunch of other people, but everybody else's tastes along the way can be totally different. So what you're tasting, like when you taste a chocolate or a cinnamon, or you smell citrus, you know, that happens just with Sid and I. Everybody else might have a totally different impression. So that's one of the things I'm kind of working on and trying to figure out, how am I going to make that coffee so that when I roast it and you over here taste it and go, oh, that's good, and that you over here do it a different way, that's nice. So that we can get that kind of a consistency, because it's that consistency to me that is going to help make the coffee roasting business succeed, one of the aspects. But that's going to be a prime one, because that's the main focus. You know, the main focus is the coffee and then the customers, how they both interact, what service, what value am I giving them, as to how that coffee tastes, what experience they're getting from that coffee, are they enjoying it, it's just a cup of coffee. There's all those kind of things that I've yet to work out. So if you can let me know down below what your thinking is on coffee. What do you like? Do you like something just, and again, there's no right or wrong answer here. It's a personal preference. I like it dark because I haven't experimented before. I'm willing to try it. Different roasts.
My mother raised me on Folgers.
Right, my mother. That's all I've ever had is Folgers. Okay, there's no problem with it right or wrong. I'm just trying to gather information so I can try to make the best decisions as we move forward. Oh, on a plus note, car got sold today. Thanks.